Welcome back. These are my January favorites, but productivity edition. So these are the things, the systems, the tools that I used in January to stay on top of my game, accomplish the things that I wanted to accomplish that I'm going to keep, and I'm going to use them throughout February and probably the rest of the year to keep me sharp, to keep me on my A game. Right off the bat is my newfound love, Notion. It's everything. I don't know how to describe it really, where you can manage events, you can manage your calendar now, you can manage social media, you can create or you can customize your Notion desktop or dashboard to be perfect for you. It is so customizable and you can use it in any field that you are in. Me personally, I didn't take the time yet to learn it so profoundly. So what I did is I found a couple Notion videos on YouTube. I watched them and I found a Notion template for realtors, which is my full-time job. And it was $40 because I got it on sale. And it is amazing. You can use this template for social media management, content planning, content organization, which is what I have been using it mostly for. And on this particular template, since it is made for realtors, you can also use it as a CRM to manage your client relationships. I haven't used it for that, and the reason why is not because it's not good, because it's actually great. I want to simplify my systems this year. I don't want to have a bunch of systems where my team has to go into Notion. Right now is mostly being used for social media management, and it's amazing. On the social media template, you have a place for ideas. You have another column for scripting, for creating, for editing. So for example, here I would move my January favorites into scripting when I'm writing the script for it, when I'm writing the outline. And when you open it up, and I don't know if I'm allowed to show you guys this because I didn't make this template, but I will link her video below. You have the brainstorm, content outline, you have script and caption, so you can even put your hashtags in there. You can link your social media links here off to the side, and everything, when you put a date in it, when it's supposed to be posted, it will feed through into this content calendar. So you can look at your calendar and see, hey, I have something coming up this day, or hey, I don't have something for this week, for this day. And it's really helpful because you can identify what platform it's for. You can identify TikToks, Facebook, Instagram. You can put in for Reels. One thing we did add, my team, is we added this reference column here where a little thumbs up means a new idea. This means it's a YouTube format. This is a Facebook IG or a YouTube short. This is a static post on IG, but I believe this also applies for Facebook. This means that we're going to repurpose probably a long form video into a short. And then this here is a TikTok. So then I can look at a glance. I could say, okay, I've got these 3 YouTube long form content that I'm writing a script for. I have a reel that I'm creating. So, you can just kind of look at a glance, and that's super helpful. So definitely going to keep using Notion as I go throughout the year. This has really helped me stay on top of my social media more than ever. Social media is so hard and content creating is so hard. I don't think a lot of people realize how much work has to go into it, into the preparation. My second, what do I call this, is the priority method to-do list. Kind of a mouthful. I think this is actually called the Ivy League method. So I have been doing this for a long time, probably for 10 years, but I fell out of that habit last year. I don't know why. And I will tell you, I could tell the difference. So what you do is every day you pick 3 things that are your absolute must do that day. Priority overall. You are laser focused on those activities. You set a time to have those tasks done by. Usually I want those 3 things done by noon. And then after your lunch break, you move into your next 3 things that you have to get done. So those 3 things they're important. You want to get them done today, but they are not going to be prioritized over anything else. My first top 3 things do get prioritized over everything else. I only look at those tasks and I spend majority of my time and attention on those 3 tasks before I move on to something else. When I had fallen out of this habit, I was really setting myself up for failure because I was just throwing 15 things on that to-do list. And I don't know if you guys ever do this, but you throw 15 things on that to-do list, you get 7 of them done, maybe 3. And when you get home, you feel like you still have to keep working. You feel like you didn't accomplish anything. Kind of feel anxious, and it's kind of hard to sleep at night because you're Did I do this? Did I order inspection? Did I reply to this? These three things that are on top of your list are things that are going to move the needle forward on goals, objectives for the week, for the month, or just things that require your immediate attention. For me, these things could be like, I have an inspection deadline that I have to respond to today, or in the next couple of days I have to review this with the client. I have a closing. I have to record a video for our real estate page because I need to send it to my editor in time to get it up on Friday, things like that. This doesn't mean that I'm only doing 6 things that day. As a matter of fact, when I do this method, I find that I accomplish way more in one day than I did when I was putting 15 things on the list. Because you are so laser focused and you are disciplining your mind and you are cutting down on distractions, you are able to, one, complete those tasks efficiently in a timely manner, and two, conserve more energy. And then you have more time to be reactive. You have more time for unforeseen things that popped up, which I have a lot in my business. I could have no showing scheduled for today, but by the end of the day, I showed 10 houses, and that happens. But that's no problem for me because I knocked out all of my tasks this morning, my priority tasks, which leaves me the space to be flexible. Okay, and tying in with that, my third favorite for the month of January, my end of the day recap. I highly, highly suggest that you implement this into your daily routine. And this is exactly what it sounds like. I call this my one-on-one team meeting. I sit down with myself. I review what was accomplished today. It's like I want to see what I checked off on my to-do list, what I need to prioritize for the next day, but also just what went on in my business, what emails were sent, what graphic designs were finished, what videos were turned out, things like that. Then from that review, I create my to-do list for tomorrow, for the next day. And a little side note, if you are doing this, I think this is no secret, but it is super helpful to have a little one-on-one meeting with yourself on Sunday. Definitely sit down, look at your agenda, look at what you have coming, what is planned, what is already blocked off in your calendar. If you have got a party coming up for your, like a birthday party, for example, okay, I gotta go get a gift. You got a baby shower coming up, okay, I gotta RCP, things like that, just so that you are on top of everything. And then you can also take this time to see what projects your team is working on or what you are working on, and what you could do that week to move the needle forward. Okay, next on my January favorites is my Bible study, but one-on-one. I have a Bible study, women's Bible study that I go to, and then I have small group. But having your own spiritual practice or faith, for me, that's, reading the Bible a little bit in the morning, helps me so much. And this is one of those things that if I hit every marker on my morning routine, I feel exceptional. I don't always hit it. I don't always read my Bible in the morning, but when I do, I feel a little different. So I strongly suggest having a spiritual or a faith-based practice in the morning. For some people, that could just look like a little bit of meditation, journaling, things like that. Okay, the next on my list is working out. This is kind of basic. Of course, everybody says you have to work out, but I will tell you, I have been so intentional about working out in the month of January. It was kind of a non-negotiable for me, and I made a switch in my mind, like, this has to happen. I have to work out. Now, you have to be realistic about this, because I used to set myself up for failure, and I stopped this. The way I would set myself up for failure was, say there was a 5 a.m. class. Okay. I know me. I can't just roll out of bed, wipe my eye boogers at 4:45 and then get to the class at 5 a.m. I admire those who can, but I am a more uptight person. I have to have 1 hour, an hour and a half, ideally, to get ready, to get dressed, to wake up, to wash my face, to put my hair up. If I want to make it to a 5 a.m. class, that means I have to wake up at 4 at the latest, okay? That's just the way it is. I've accepted it. That's who I am. For me to wake up at 4, I cannot be going to bed at 11 p.m. And if the class that I want to take is on a Wednesday morning, but I know that Tuesday nights we have small group and soccer practice, and I'm not going to get home until 9 p.m. and I'm not going to be in bed asleep until 11, I am not going to sign up for that class. And that's what I mean about setting yourself up for success. So I'm realistic about it. Which days could I realistically and successfully make it to my 5 a.m. class that I want to take. If that is only twice a week, so be it. Which days am I free during lunch that I could go take a little walk? Which days is my evening free where I could do a little Pilates at home? Things like that. So that's where reviewing my schedule on a Sunday night is so helpful looking into the week ahead, because I can schedule those classes, I can block that in there. I have to be realistic about it. I have to set myself up for success. So I strongly suggest finding what works for you. And as a little side note with working out, I stopped doing things that I don't want to do. If I don't want to go into the gym and squat 200 pounds, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to pick heavy things up and then put them down. That's not for me. What do I want to do? What do I feel like doing? What makes me happy? What makes me enjoy this movement? What challenge do I have fun doing? What clears my mind? Things like that. I'm mindful of those things. I'm not going to put in to my 5 a.m. back day at the gym. I'm not going to do that. If I'm not excited about it and it's 5 a.m., I'm just going to roll over and say, oh, it's too cold. See? So find something that you like and stick to it. And it can be fun too. For example, in the summer, some days I would just say, I'm going to play badminton for an hour with my husband. That is some hard work. Badminton is exhausting, but it's amazing because I'm getting cardio. I'm using my leg strength. So I'm assuming those are getting worked out. I'm using back muscles, arm muscles. I'm getting sunshine. I'm getting fresh air. And I have one-on-one time with my husband. Okay, and the last one, also a cliche, but I have been prioritizing sleep. And the biggest reason I started prioritizing sleep is because I have been closely monitoring my thyroid hormone levels, or my markers. And that was one of the biggest things that was suggested to me by the specialist that read my thyroid panel, was to prioritize sleep. And the reason is my cortisol was a little bit high. He asked me how much I sleep, and I told him the truth, and he said that I need to prioritize that a little bit more so that I can lower my cortisol, which will then help my hormone levels balance out. A little complex, but it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Also, I know that lack of sleep in your early years is linked to dementia and Alzheimer's, and I don't want to increase the chances for that. So it's one of those things. It's also super good for your skin. As we get a little bit older, I'm not in my early 20s anymore. So as we get into our very mid 20s, we want to prioritize the things that are going to be good for our skin. So I'm prioritizing sleep, and I'm going to continue to do that in 2024 and beyond, because I love it. Well, I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you're going to try any of these, if you already do any of these, or if there are some things that you like to do that maybe I should do. See you next time. Oh, thanks for watching.